Hello and welcome to the 2024 U.S. presidential election night in America. The battle for the White House is between President Kamala Harris and former President Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump has decided to run again after claiming that he has lost the 2020 election because of voter fraud, and we will see who will win, who will get the 270 to win to the White House. If he wins, he will be carrying in the same footsteps as Grover Cleveland did in over 100 years ago. So CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win the state of Kentucky with his 8 electoral votes. Definitely not a big surprise. Again, they won it in 2016 and 2020, and they're winning it again in 2024. CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win his running mate's home state in 2016 and 2020. Indiana, and again, they won it in 2016 and they won it in 2020. Indiana with its 11 electoral votes. Now some projections for the Democrats. The Democrats will win the state of Delaware. That is Joe Biden's home state, and Joe Biden, after he resigned, they won it in 2020, and that's definitely not a big surprise for the Harris campaign. And Illinois, with its big prize of 19 electoral votes, definitely not a big surprise for them, because that is a pretty strong holding Democratic state. And in the state of Vermont, with its 3 electoral votes, President Harris will win that state with its 3 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders' home state, it's a pretty leaning Democratic state. And as it stands, Kamala Harris has the lead with 25 electoral votes, and President Trump has 19 electoral votes in the minority. And in Georgia, it is extremely early to call, so we cannot project that. In Florida, it's too early to call. Oh, actually, in Florida, we just got a bunch of numbers in Florida. In Florida, Joe Biden holds his lead. No, Donald Trump has a lead of 2 points over Kamala Harris, which is very tight. The polls closed at 7 o'clock, and now it is extremely close. Too early to call over there. Hoping to have a projection soon on that. In Georgia, now we're moving it from the too early to call to the too close to call, as Donald Trump has actually a pretty impressive lead. 75% of the vote is in, but he has a pretty impressive lead of 800,000 votes, and 51.54 of the vote there, and that's pretty impressive over there, because again, in 2020, Joe Biden did not have a lead over there. He was leading in there, and then all of a sudden Donald Trump was leading in that state, and then all of a sudden Joe Biden just got a pretty big lead there. So it's definitely good news for the Trump campaign, especially if they're saying on voter fraud. This is if they win Georgia, they can prove something about voter fraud, that either could prove that Kamala Harris is a bad president, or could prove that Donald Trump has a point on his voter fraud. Then now, major projection for the Trump campaign. CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win the state of Florida with its 31 electoral votes. Definitely way quicker than every other year. Usually that number does not come in till much later, but today they wanted to see the results, I guess, pretty fast. So they all got their vote in early, and now Florida can go in the president's column. A huge win. Harris was hoping they would do good there, but as CNN can now project, Donald Trump has won in Florida. Now, as the map of the Electoral College holds, Donald Trump gets back in the lead with 40 electoral votes after winning the state of Florida, and Kamala Harris only at 25, which is not great news for the Harris campaign that they didn't win Florida, but they still have a path. Trump did not have a path without Florida. Florida was Florida, and Florida was the only way they could win. They needed Florida. Florida was one of their ways to one of their paths to 270. Without Florida, it's a very tight race for both of them. They need Florida. They just need it. And now Kamala Harris, as I said before, has only 25 electoral votes, which is okay for the beginning, because we will soon project big states for Kamala Harris, and even if they're not swing states, they'll just add to her number. Now, we have a projection in the state of New York. CNN can now project that Kamala Harris will win the state of New York with its 25 electoral vote. That number changed since last. 27. It dropped to last 4 years. 4 years ago, 2020, it was 29 electoral votes. But now it is 27 electoral votes. And we project that she will win the state of New York with its 27 electoral votes. That's a big prize for her. And definitely not a big surprise. Definitely not a big surprise for the Democrats, as the state of New York is very Democrat. I'll tell you that. It was not at all a big surprise for them to get New York. New York was New York. They needed New York. In order to win, they needed New York. They absolutely needed it, and they got it, because New York, as I told you before, was a very Democratic state. So that's definitely a big prize for Kamala Harris, and she still we're not sure yet, but as the polls are, she will have a decisive win in the state of California, as it is highly, highly Democratic, and that will definitely add to her vote lead, and her electoral college lead, and it for sure will add to it, because that just, as we projected before, that is going to change a lot of things. But with that New York change in place, CNN on its map has Donald Trump in with, whoa, these numbers are huge. Donald Trump with 40 electoral votes, and Kamala Harris with 52. She is 52 over there with the state of New York. Harris is leading, but Trump is projected to win a few other states, like, we will see, we will see. Now, a key race alert. This is huge for the Harris campaign. Huge for them. In Georgia, for some reason, Harris's lead has gone up by 4 points, putting her up by 50%. And we will see what happens over there. Now, Trump only has a 100,000 vote lead. 700,000 less than what she had an hour ago. She will pick up in this state. And we're not able to project now who will win that state. It's way too early to call. And it is extremely close in Georgia. So, now within that Georgia key race alert. Oh, key race alert! I did not see that. Georgia, Trump's lead has gone back up, and it is now we have a major projection to make. That now with 90% of the vote in Georgia, we can now project that Donald Trump will win the state of Georgia. Definitely a state he did not win in 2020, and that is major from the Trump campaign. That's one of their only ways to 270. That is just major for them. Major for them. Huge for them. Ginormous for them. That is exactly what they needed now with Trump with 53% of 95% of the vote in. Trump with a 200,000 vote lead is definitely what Trump needs to win the state of Georgia. And Trump will win the state of Georgia with its 16 electoral votes. Definitely a swing state over there. 16 electoral votes added to Trump's column. Trump now has altogether 66 electoral votes. Now Trump is back in the lead with 66 electoral college votes. And Kamala Harris with only 52. And now, this is very interesting, actually. Very interesting. As look in states like in the counties, like let's say in find a good state here. In Pennsylvania, which is a key battleground state for both candidates will need this state as part of their 270. They need that in order to get to 270, especially the Trump campaign. After the Trump campaign is really, doing very well. We did not expect them to do this well. We did not expect that within a few hours into election night, he would already have a bunch of key battlegrounds, like 66, like Florida, Georgia. We did not expect that. We were not flying for that. 66 electoral votes, which is a huge surprise. The Trump campaign, they're doing very. Oh, we have upcoming projections. CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win the state of North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes. Not a big surprise for the Trump campaign. That's 3 electoral votes. Not much for them, but it helps. 3 electoral votes for them. And again, another projection that, as it is already in the middle of the United States, it's already getting. Their polls have just closed now. It's already 9 Eastern. So that is not a big surprise for the Trump campaign. 3 electoral votes over there. As it stands, Donald Trump has 72 electoral votes and Kamala Harris only with 52. 270 needed to win. We will see who will win after this short break. Now we're back on air, and now we have reached a moment that everyone has been waiting for. Everyone was waiting for this moment. Now that Trump has 72 electoral votes, we can now project that even though Kamala Harris the whole time pre-election, she held a strong campaign, and she was pretty strong over there, and all the polls showed her leading. Now we're not so sure. Now I'd rather be Trump than her. But we will see. It all depends on what happens in like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Texas. Texas now. We have a key race alert in Texas. Although it is way too close to call, this was not expected for the Harris campaign. We did not expect this. In Texas, here there is 41 electoral votes at stake. 41! It's a huge prize, the biggest prize other than California. The Trump campaign needs this. They need it majorly. If they don't get this, they lose the election. Most probably. Because they got this in 2016, they're going to get it again. Probably. They need it. They just need it. But it's so close. No one would have expected it would have gotten this close. Trump only has a 2-point lead, but there is 90% reporting. So now we have a projection to make. CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win a huge prize in Texas of the Electoral College, 41 electoral votes. A huge prize for the Trump campaign. This election, it seems like it might have gotten under the title of Battleground. I don't know, but anyways, Trump has won that state with its 41 electoral votes. It got 2 more since last election, or 3 more. And now with that, Trump has 113 electoral votes. 113. Do you understand that? 113 electoral votes for Trump. Definitely a big win for the Trump campaign. And Kamala Harris is sitting there with 52 electoral votes. But we can now project that he will win the state of West Virginia. West Virginia is in the president's column, the former president's column. With its 4 electoral votes, not such a big prize and not such a big surprise. Not a prize, not a surprise, but definitely what Trump was relying on. Even 4 can help him get the 270. So now that he has Texas, and now that he has West Virginia, altogether he has 117 electoral votes, with Kamala Harris only with in with 52. Kamala Harris is not doing that well, but we do expect her to pick up in the next few projections. CNN can now project that this will be a very close race. It is going to be extremely close, especially considering that the numbers from the West Coast have not come in yet. And on the West Coast, the polls are closing in around half an hour. Over there, when the West Coast polls close, we expect Kamala Harris's number to go up. I wouldn't say skyrocket, but they're gonna go up for sure. So, in half an hour, we may be able to make a projection in a key battleground state of, believe it or not, it's a key battleground state this time, in the state of Nevada. Nevada got pretty tight this year. Especially in the exit polls, they even showed that there's a chance that we won't be able to know the results today, as there'll be recounts and it'll be that close. But it's 6 electoral votes at stake over there, so that is definitely what each campaign wants, as it is a key battleground state for Kamala Harris and for Donald Trump. And there's 2 minutes left till those polls close over there. Meanwhile, we'll have a short commercial break. And we're getting our first results in from the West Coast. And CNN can now project that Kamala Harris will win the state of California, which is her home state. Not surprising, 55 electoral votes, the biggest prize on the Electoral College. And in Washington, projected winner is Kamala Harris with 12 electoral votes. And in Oregon, we have 8 electoral votes for Kamala Harris. And now we have some Trump projections. CNN can now project that in the state of Nebraska, 4 out of 5 electoral votes will go to Trump. 1 of them will go to Kamala Harris. And in Kansas, 6 electoral votes will go to Trump. And in Oklahoma, 7 go to Trump. In Missouri, CNN can now project that 10 electoral votes, all of it will go to Trump. In Iowa, 6 electoral votes, and that will go all to Trump. Out of Iowa, we go to the next projected is in Arkansas. 6 electoral votes go to Trump. And in Louisiana, 8 electoral votes go to Trump. Another projection, Alabama, 8 electoral votes to Trump. Mississippi, 6 to Trump. Maine, 3 out of 4 go to Kamala Harris. And in Maine, 1 out of 4 we can project will go to Donald Trump. In Hawaii, 4 of them we can project will go to Kamala Harris. And in Virginia, 13 electoral votes at stake over there go to Kamala Harris. At this, Donald Trump takes the lead with 177 electoral votes, 270 needed to win, and Kamala Harris with 146. Another projection right now on CNN. CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win the state of Alaska, and it's 3 electoral votes. Definitely not a big surprise. Alaska goes to Trump. 3 electoral votes added to his vote lead, which now he has 180. Then CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win the state of Tennessee with its 11 electoral votes. Not a big surprise for the Trump campaign, as they won it in 2016 and in 2020, winning it again in 2024. Tennessee with its 11 electoral votes. Last election, it had 11 as well, and they won it. So it's 11 for Trump over there in Tennessee. And in South Carolina, 9 electoral votes for Trump. And that will definitely help Trump winning the election. He has definitely not a big surprise, because they won it every election in the past, that they in 2016 and in 2020 they won it. So definitely not a huge surprise, but it is gonna help them, because who wouldn't except 9 electoral votes. With all of those projections that we have made, Donald Trump has 200 electoral votes and Kamala Harris 146. Now, we can now project a key battleground state for Trump. But before that, we'll take a short break. CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win a battleground state of North Carolina with the 16 electoral votes. Definitely a big win for the Trump campaign. And CNN can now project that Kamala Harris will win the state of New Jersey with its 14 electoral votes, New Hampshire with its 4 electoral votes, Maryland with its 11 electoral votes, and Massachusetts with its 11 electoral votes. No, sorry, Maryland with its 10 electoral votes, and Massachusetts with its 11, Rhode Island with its 3 electoral votes. Last election, it was 4, lost 1. Connecticut with its 7 electoral votes, and the District of Columbia with its 3 electoral college votes. With all those projections, CNN can now project that Donald Trump will have 216 electoral votes and Kamala Harris 198. Obviously an advantage for Donald Trump on the one hand. On the other hand, she can always make a comeback if she has to win most of those key battleground states. If she wins them, she will win the presidency. Now, for some more projections. CNN can now project that Kamala Harris will win the state of Colorado. She'll win the state of Colorado with its she'll win the state of Colorado with its 10 electoral votes, and she'll win all 10 of them. And we also project that she will win the state, Kamala Harris will win the state of Utah with its 6 electoral votes. And, no, sorry, she will not win the state of Utah. Sorry, CNN projects that Donald Trump will win the state of Utah together with its 6 electoral votes. Definitely gonna help him. And stand by for more projections. CNN can now project that Kamala Harris will win the state of New Mexico. She will win the state of New Mexico with its 5 electoral votes. She would need that to win, and she has it. Now she has New Mexico with its 5 electoral votes. Now we have a major projection. CNN can now project that Kamala Harris will win the state of Arizona. She will win the state of Arizona with its 12 electoral vote. Last election, that was Arizona. Last election was 11. It got 12. That is definitely an advantage for the president. She got Arizona, and she got it by an impressive margin. I would say very impressive, very impressive for the president. Key race alert: CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win the state of Nevada. He will win the state of Nevada with its 6 electoral votes. That is a flip for the president, the former president, and he definitely needs that at this point in time to win the presidency. At this point in time, Donald Trump is in the lead slightly with 228 electoral votes, with Kamala Harris right behind him with 225 electoral votes. This is a very close election, and we will have another projection expected in another few minutes. CNN can now project that Kamala Harris will win the state of Minnesota with its 9 electoral votes. If I'm not mistaken, that went down on electoral vote. Am I correct? Last election is at 10. It went down to 9. That shows us something. It shows us that it's losing population. But anyhow, and she will win it with its 10 electoral votes. Now, it projected for Donald Trump. Donald Trump will win the state of Idaho with his 4 electoral votes. Not a surprise. And CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win the state of Montana with his 4 electoral votes. CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win the state of Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes. CNN can now project that Donald Trump will win the key battleground state of Ohio with its 17 electoral votes. It lost an electoral vote since last election, but it was 18. And in Maine, CNN can now project that Kamala Harris will get 3 out of 4, and in Maine, Donald Trump will get 1 of the electoral votes. With that, Donald Trump has 257 electoral votes, and Kamala Harris has 237 electoral votes. Kamala Harris will need all 3 of the battleground states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, which, if she would get all of those, she would have altogether a total of 281, but if Trump, all he needs is, let's say, Michigan or Pennsylvania, and he's over the 270. So let's see. Now, I'd rather be Trump than Harris. And now, CNN can now project the winner of this election. CNN can now project who will be the 47th President of the United States. Who will be the next President of the United States of America. CNN can now project that Donald Trump will follow in Grover Cleveland's ways and will be the 45th President, and was the 45th President, and now the 47th President of the United States of America, defeating Kamala Harris at a campaign season like nothing in our lifetime. CNN can project this based on our projection of that Donald Trump will win the state of Pennsylvania, and with Pennsylvania, he adds 19 to his total, and that puts him over the 270. With that 19, he has 276 electoral votes, and 270 needed to win. He has won the White House. Pennsylvania, with his 19 electoral votes, goes to Trump. Now we will have a few more projections, even though they really do not matter to this election anymore. CNN can now project that Kamala Harris will win the state of Michigan. She will win the state of Michigan with its 15 electoral votes. She will win that state. She will also win the state, Donald Trump will win the state of Wisconsin with its 10 electoral votes. And now we're already Wednesday, and it's 7 o'clock on the West Coast, and it's 7 o'clock on the East Coast, and it's 4 in the morning on the West Coast. With all of that total put in to each of theirs, CNN's final score is Donald Trump with 286 electoral votes, and Kamala Harris with 252 electoral votes. So close, an extremely close election, super close. And Kamala Harris has lost this election. Donald Trump has just won the presidential election, and he is now going to give his victory speech. Although Kamala Harris did not concede yet, the winner is clear. And breaking news, now it is 10 o'clock in the morning. Kamala Harris has called Donald Trump to concede the race. Now we can call Donald Trump the former president and the president-elect of the United States of America. Thank you for watching. This is CNN Live. Thank you for watching.